Good morning, good morning, good morning. You know what it is. It's me, your boy Trey. Got my man Cornelius on, Bishop, and his beloved. It's Hump Day. Should be popping up soon enough. It's First Formation Morning Sports Talk. So come on, fall in with us this morning so we can get to talking about some things. Good morning, Mr. Cornelius. How you doing this morning, sir?
Good morning. Good morning. It's a good one. I'm good.
Everyone can't wake up to that type of news, man. Everyone I've always said that you can be a mogul in your own right. You ain't got to. Everyone ain't got to be standing out amongst everybody. It's levels to it. It's a process and everything for an individual in due time if they keep pushing. So I
Mm,
later on I'll let you, you know what I'm saying, we falling out, I'll let you so you can so everyone can be understand what it is I'm talking about that don't know or don't follow you, they'll be able to find out. So let's just keep them in the dark a little bit. Let them stew in it.
oh yeah. Good morning. Good morning, Steve.
Yeah, yes. What's good, Steve? What's good, bruh? Good morning, sir. Good morning to you. uh look at this. Hey, what's going on? What's going there, Bishop? How's your morning going?
What's going on, y'all?
What's up? What's
Sorry
up?
I was late. I was still looking at the things and going. What's up, Steve? Good morning, Steve. What's up, CC? Trey. Still listening to
Yesterday's events.
the account
Yeah,
for what happened.
yeah. I was just telling him that if I wonder if sis had to go and provide any support or anything like that.
Mm, man.
What's good? Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Joe. So to lead off, anything for the most part, if y'all have been uh for the most part, it shouldn't be anyone that really doesn't know the situation if you watch television or any case form and fashion. Even if you watch the NBA games last night for the conference final, it was a putting in motion and stuff shown yesterday around 11:32. I think it was around 11:30. Uh,
Right after we pretty much
Ross
ended the
got the
show.
golf or yeah,
Yeah,
uh, an 18-year-old. I can't remember his name. I didn't get the name. I didn't even think to
he
grab
don't
his
even
name.
deserve for his name to be mentioned.
Was went into a school after killing his grandmother, shooting his grandmother, killing his grandmother. Went to school, Robb Elementary School in is it Uvalde,
Uvalde,
Texas, Uvalde,
Uvalde.
uh, Uvalde, Texas, and massacred children, shot children, 19 children dead. One teacher shot dead.
Three teachers.
Three oh was ended up being three teachers.
Yeah.
All three of them are dead. Because I haven't
hmm
looked, I haven't watched. I know I seen the 19 this morning. Uh, so uh, it's something. Of course, it's some stuff to be talked about. Some things to wonder. Of course, with him being killed, there's not. You're probably not. We're probably really not going to get a motive. Of course, law enforcement will do what they have to do to figure out and find out what it is. Even in that moment, the NBA shows love and concern um, across the spectrum. Um, Steve Kerr jumps on, and if you're looking instantly into tears. He started having. He basically stood on his podium or the platform that he had, trying to invoke and ask for reform in reference to the guns laws. This man, young man, had a pistol, a rifle, all semi automatic. Um, some of the kids couldn't even be identified, so DNA had to be pulled from parents who was missing children to so they could see if they could identify the child, and it was that graphic and gory to where they couldn't even allow people to come in to see, and they wasn't recognizable. um I'm sorry, gentlemen, y'all could go ahead. Bishop, you were saying when you first got on.
yeah. It touched home for me so much because of the fact that where this heinous crime happened was literally 76 miles away from um miles away from there.
Hmm.
Um and that's like an hour away. Um
Hmm.
the young man, and if I'm not mistaken, CC, you're a teacher, right? You are in the school system, correct?
Yes,
So I
yes.
know I definitely want to hear your take on it. But my hat goes off to Steve Kerr because he made
He
valid
did.
points.
He did.
He made valid points. Not only that, if you go into Steve Kerr's history and do a background on Steve Kerr, it's a reason why he feels the way he feels. His father was assassinated years ago, and so
Yeah,
that's why
overseas,
he
right?
right. That's why that's why he is so passionate about how he feels with these gun laws and things of that nature. Um, for him, the young man, from what I've been told, and what we're hearing, the young man was upset because he was a senior at the high school there in Uvalde, and he wasn't going to be allowed to graduate. So he got into an argument with his grandmother and shot it about him not graduating. My wife assumes the grandmother was probably saying that, oh, he was probably going to get kicked out the house or whatever. We don't know, but either way, he got in an argument with his grandmother, shot his grandmother. Fortunately enough, his grandmother is still living. She's in
Okay.
critical condition, but she's in the hospital. She's from what we know, she hasn't passed. But they said she was screaming, "He shot me! He shot me! Shot me!" He then left his grandmother's house, jumped in the truck, drove, and somehow he crashed in a little ravine.
Hmm.
Don't know how he crashed or whatever, but they showed his truck crashed into a ravine. Where his truck crashed at was right across the street from the school. This is just my thought process. What I'm thinking was he only went into that school and killed those people and those little kids because of the fact that he crashed right there. My idea was my ideology or my thinking is that his intentions were to go to the high school because he wasn't going to graduate. The high school was a mile away or 2 miles, a mile or two away from where he crashed at, or and from that elementary school. So my thought process is, and I don't know for sure, but and we will never know, but my thought process is that he was probably headed to the high school and planning on to act out his intentions. That's just me. But either way, man, my heart goes out to those families in Uvalde. To sit there and know it was one man who it took 7 hours for him to find out that his daughter was no longer here on Earth. 7 hours. He had to sit in agony and wait to find out that he would not be able to see, that his daughter wasn't coming home. It's just I don't know what to think. It's just I don't know. CC.
Yeah. As a teacher, those are always some of the things that you have to discuss. Unfortunately, um, making sure uh, kids and things aren't bringing weapons into the building. Um, the people in Uvalde, my heart goes out. But um, I think the biggest thing is guns and the age of the young man. Um,
18.
yes, the age of the young man. And I also think that when people are saying pay attention to the mental awareness and anger issues and things like that, all that stuff seems like it comes into play the rage of people sometimes. And one of the biggest things we've been discussing here in North Carolina um, is the ease at which people can get hands on guns, man. Hands on weapons is, I think what Steve Kerr said is good, but I also challenge to say, I've said it on my show a couple of times, will that be good enough?
Right.
Because a lot of these guns are on the streets already, man. You know, um, and when these unfortunate incidents happen, which they seem to keep happening periodically, um, it doesn't seem to be totally random in my mind. it's like perhaps you're right. He was on his way to the high school, but I just feel bad for all of those that lost kids. Why are we messing with the kids? Is my thing at all. Like I feel like they deserve to grow, man. I feel like they should have the same shot and opportunities that we had to live peacefully. So when these things happen, man, it's hard to pinpoint one single thing when there's so many factors that have went into it. Um, I pray for those people that have losses, and I think we should all get behind that rally to do something different with our gun laws, but also cleaning up our streets with the guns
Good morning,
is
Dale.
the huge thing. The biggest thing is uh, cleaning up our streets with the guns. It's too easy to get guns and go around those laws. So just depending on our government, it's going to take communities to get guns out of the communities, um, out of their own communities. It's going to take society's whole effort to do something with it. Um, and it's just what part will we all are we all willing to play in that? And I wrap it up by saying again,
CC, I do understand where you're coming from. I understand what Steve Kerr coming from. Even Shaq Diesel had things to say. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Um, in regards to it, you know, one of the things I said was, we don't allow young adults to start drinking until 21, but we allow them to buy guns at 18. Um, but like you said, CC, even Shaq said, with the way society is, whether you're 17, 15, 13, or whatever, you can buy a gun off the street and not have to worry about nobody's background check or anything of that nature. That's just how our society is when it comes to guns. There's no law that's really going to prevent someone from getting a gun if they truly want one and they got the means to get it. uh, Today was just, or yesterday leading in today, is just something that it touched home. But for me, again, like I said, because I have a 6 year old, what I'm saying, I have a 6 year old. These kids were at a elementary school from grade 2 to 4th grade. 2 to 4th grade, the oldest kid in that school was 10 years old. 10 years old. One young man lost his life. His mom was just there that morning, 2 hours before that shooting took place. She was there for her son's award ceremony, and that was the last time she seen her son alive. Just think about, that's the last time she just saw her son 2 hours ago receive an award for school, and 2 hours later, her son is no longer here with her. That's just, and I attended a middle school graduation yesterday. I had a graduation. One of the young men I coach football, he graduated from 8th grade yesterday and going into high school. And then just, that just the thought, those 19 kids will not be able to see high school, middle school, none of that.
right.
None of that. Their lives were cut short by a coward. And I just, it's just hard, man. It's hard.
Hey, you know what? It goes back to the potentially the motive from which you was talking about, Bishop, and even with that kind of that motive, whether it was yours or however you came about it, it kind of makes sense because I was wondering because of course the reports came out that he was suited with armor and everything like that. Like who does
Yep.
that just on a regular
Right.
basis? So of
Right.
course it makes sense now if that's what his potentially if it was his intentions to trying to make it to the school, then to the high school for him to be armored up and suited up and ready to go, long rifle, uh, handgun. So that makes sense, especially in like it'd be almost lack of better words became a target of opportunity once he crashed his vehicle. He couldn't make it to the school instead of
Two
walking down
miles.
2 miles to his intended target to where he probably wouldn't get there and would I mean in reference to what he did with his grandmother. So I get that. That makes sense now. I have
Yeah.
to follow the story.
Right.
Um
What on other news? I mean, good
yeah,
morning, Freddie. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good
what's
morning.
good,
I
Freddie?
didn't. I will say this: I didn't get, like I said, I went to a graduation, then we went and
Hmm.
ate dinner, so I did not get an opportunity to see last night's game between the Mavs and the Warriors. So I have no idea what
You
really took
you you
place.
you ain't missing anything. Uh, you really didn't miss anything. There's nothing to see there. Nothing to see there.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we were wrong. Well, I take a
Mm.
half point. I take a half point. I did say that I expected them to win the. I did say I expected them to lose the series, but I did. I had an inkling. I didn't select them, but I did have an inkling that the Dallas was going to get their W. But of course, before we get to that, what happened is yesterday, gentlemen, the NBA released their Kia All NBA teams 1, 2, and 3, in which I have here in front of me, and I'm going to go ahead and rattle off these three teams, and then I have of course I have some questions because now that I look at it, I don't know. So of course, first team guards Luka Doncic and Devin Booker, forwards Jason Tatum and Giannis Antetokounmpo, and by the way, he was the only unanimous. And then lastly, center Nikola Jokic from Denver Nuggets. Second team, guards John Morant and Stephen Curry. Forward, Kevin Durant and DeMar DeRozan. Center, Joel Embiid. And lastly, third team, guards Chris Paul and Trey Young. Forwards, Pascal Siakam and LeBron James. And center, Carl Anthony Towns. That making the third team made LeBron made LeBron the recipient of his 18th his All NBA title, team title, 18 of them. So I ask you guys this: for the first team, or even any other teams, did they get that right? Do you believe the first team was right? What's good, Mike?
Man, Booker, man. I don't know. I don't know if Booker belongs on that first team.
Mm,
Maybe second team or so. I probably would have put John Morant on that first team.
mm,
Uh, um, and that would probably be the only change that I would make to that first team is
hmm.
that guard position. But yeah, a little leery about Booker being on the first team.
Bishop, you think of the same thing? Oh, he dropped off. I could I could get what you're saying. Um, Cornelius, like that's Booker over. Matter of fact, let me see what the point total was. Booker scored 82 first place points, 16 second place votes. Um, Steph Curry 9 first place votes, 69 second place votes. John Morant 13 first place votes, 76 second place votes, which total 274 and 301 for them. Booker had a total of 406 points. So yeah, it was even close in reference to that. Um I would think that's too, but maybe it's more so a fact of how they're playing right now in the reference to like. But I would have thought that Ja Morant and or Steph Curry would have had the opportunity because evidently it didn't boil well down because you got to think Steph was out a couple games towards the end, but still for him to be a third second teamer, it's pretty interesting. Uh,
Yeah,
I I would have thought that might be it. LeBron James. Oh, Kyrie Irving. Well, that's a snub. I'll get to that. Um, Bishop, was you? I know you had dropped off to change your background.
Yeah.
What?
Not only that, my for some reason I'm getting some mad feedback or whatever. It's glitching. But go ahead. What I said, I asked you what was the first team because I couldn't hear.
First team was Giannis Antetokounmpo, Luka Doncic, Devin Booker, Jason Tatum, and Jokic.
And what is it? And this is for what? But what is
The
it?
NBA All NBA team, first team.
And the second team is what?
The second team was Joel Embiid, John Morant, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and DeMar DeRozan.
And what's the question?
I
Which
was
team is
asking.
better?
No, I was asking. No, I haven't asked that yet. But I was asking, do you think the first team, second team, and third team were selected correctly?
There you go again. I didn't hear you. Do I think the first team, second team, what?
When the third team were selected correctly? Any changes you think you would have did? Votes.
No, I think they sound pretty decent. I know I heard CC say something about somebody, but I
Devin
didn't
Booker,
catch it. Oh, he felt like Devin Booker shouldn't be on there
correct. He
Ooh,
said he would thought about John Morant or
on the first team instead of.
yeah,
Oh,
yes.
so he felt like Devin Booker and John Morant should have been on the first team instead of the team in which they own.
Well, he felt Devin Booker should have been on the second team and Josh should have been on the first team.
Oh, flipped him too.
Yeah.
Flipped him too. Oh, okay. Um. Yeah, I guess I could see Devin Booker for John Morant. I don't know, man. I don't know about that one, CC. I don't know. I think I like Devin Booker on that first team over John Morant, in my personal opinion.
Mm.
In my
So
personal opinion, I like Devin Booker there.
So going to the next question, which I have is, so would you come in what would be if you put all three teams against each other? Who do you have? First team, second team, third team. Of course, the third team is made up
Again, yeah,
of yeah.
yeah.
The
What
third
is it,
the,
13?
the third team is Karl Anthony Towns, LeBron James, Chris Paul, Trey Young, and Pascal Siakam.
Ooh, that third team can't compete with either one of the first two teams,
You
in
don't
my
think
opinion.
so?
No,
Ooh,
no,
interesting. So
not in
basically,
my opinion.
when I look at it, I was like, wait, that's not a bad team.
It's not a bad team, but they can't compete with the first and second team. In my personal opinion, you feel it can, CC?
What was that question again? Sorry about that.
The
What was
third
the last
team,
point?
if you was to put all three teams on the court, who you got? And so I rattled off the third team, and the third team ain't
Yeah.
that shabby. Karl Anthony Towns, LeBron James, Chris Paul, Trey Young, and Pascal Siakam.
I
Yeah,
like the first team better.
yeah, you
The
can't.
sec-
Yeah, that team,
I
it's
like the first
decent, but
team better.
yeah,
Um, you know, man, can't say enough about LeBron even being on those teams at his age, man. Like playing out his mind at his age. But other than that, we saw what Karl Anthony Towns will do. you know, got some
yeah,
work to do with the rest of them on that team. We
that
saw
part.
Chris Paul. Chris Paul is always only going to get you so far, man. So I like
Yeah,
that. I like that first team, man.
yeah.
With the
I
exception, I
totally
still
agree with
think John Morant should be on that first team, just because of where Memphis came from. That's why I would take him over Booker. I know Booker and the Suns had the best record, and he had a lot to do with them having the best record. Um, but I just think that John Morant's impact in Memphis and on the NBA was way more. Man, I mean, you couldn't turn it on ESPN when he played without watching highlights. Without seeing him on the highlights all the time. I think he's good for the NBA. That's why I say, yeah, I would put him on the first team.
you. And Anthony feels like you should switch Booker with Curry instead of Booker with Ja.
I think either one of those wouldn't hurt. Wouldn't be bad. But
I
in
could see
case,
that.
yeah.
You can't lose with Curry. In my opinion, by
I
putting him
mean,
in the first team.
you can lose with Curry. Evidently, that's what happened last night. But
Here he go.
uh,
Here he go.
I'm just saying.
Man, if y'all don't
That's funny.
if y'all don't believe that Dallas won that for Uvalde last night, you really don't get it. You got
So
Dallas. After that happened, you had to know Dallas was gonna win that game. If that had happened, God forbid, I wish it would have never happened at all. But if that had happened prior to our show, I'd have picked Dallas to win last night's game. Honestly,
Dallas.
so you must be one of those that believe that that
I
New
am.
Orleans won the Super Bowl.
I am because of because of Katrina. What happened? Yeah, I am. I was one of the first to say that. Yep, I do. They did it for
I
the city of New Orleans. I do believe that.
I'm one of those that also believe that take nothing away from the Saints that year, but I do think that things were kind of in their favor to win, at the conclusion.
Oh,
Yeah.
the conspiracy theories rear his ugly head again.
But and
Look
not
at
only that, just think about last night's game, right? Again, it stays Trey. And this is and I'm glad you say that, Anthony, because a lot of people I didn't watch the game, but I heard a lot of comments, especially from our frat Trey, in regards to the
oh, that was what
conspiracy.
that's what that was.
Oh yeah, the conspiracy theory.
Oh,
Because
okay.
from what I was told last night, at one point, Dallas was up by 30,
30,
and
29. 29.
29. Steve Kerr put in the bench players, and the bench players got it back within 8 to 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
And then he
8
puts back,
points,
and then he puts the starters back in.
and they lose by 10.
Like, come on, bro. Like, seriously? Like, really think about that, man. Like, really put that in consideration. Like, where does that happen? Where bench players who come in and have a spark that much to to slim down the deficit that much to where this coach, man, we might be able to win this game and puts
So,
back the starters.
so before
Right.
we get too far down that rabbit hole, of
Mhm.
course
Yeah,
Dallas played host the Texas. I guess you could say it was a Texas strong moment. Play host to the Golden State Warriors. Golden State up 3-0 in their series, looking to close it out, which they couldn't shut the door yet. Luka stuck his foot in it and was like, hold on for a second. Dallas gets the win 119-109, a 10-point dub. Like as Bishop was just saying, at one point, Dallas was up by 29 points. The Warriors in their efforts was led by Steph Curry's 20 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist from Andrew Wiggins. Draymond Green, 10 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 12 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist from Klay Thompson. Jonathan Kuminga, the young buck, the only one of the only high teenagers in the league right now. Well, Josh Giddey is too. 17 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 10 points, 2 rebounds. From Moses Moody, another one of the young guns. Jordan Poole, 14 points, 0 rebounds, 4 assists as he fouled out in the fourth quarter. Damian Lee, 6 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. Basically, like he was just saying, Kurt kind of like emptied the clip on the uh, on the bench, due to the fact that they was being blown out. I guess he was relenting, like, okay, let's get these guys some playing time, and they came in and showed out, presumably, before we jump back into what Bishop thought was in reference to if it's staged or not. And of course, here Cornelius is
Anthony.
um,
Nobody benches that good.
the Mavericks is led by Lucas Doncic, 30 points, 14 rebounds, 9 assists, as he was 1 assist short of a triple double. 23.6 rebounds, 2 assists from Dorian Finney-Smith. Reggie Bullock, 18 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Jalen Bronson, 15 points, 5 rebounds. Spencer Dinwiddie, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists. 13 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists from Maxi Kleber. Davis Beltran and Frank Talinka both got in 5 points apiece in 10 and 17 minutes of play, respectively. Only person that did not score was Dwight Powell, although he did have 1 rebound in 12 minutes of play. So, as Anthony was saying, nobody's bench is as good, is just as good as that. Um, Cornelius, Bishop, back to your theories. Do you think do you think these things are staged for shock value, entertainment value, and playing with people's money, or do you think they just was galvanized and just came in? And he's like, you know what, we ain't got nothing to lose. Let's play, and they pulled within 8 points. And the only reason they switched up, they put Steph Curry, so they got 8 points. They was
Did you
up
look
eight
back
points.
at our Marco
Go ahead.
Insight put up some a huge little Marco Polo in regards to the conspiracy theory and the money aspect of the game of basketball. But go ahead,
Mhm.
CC, you go first.
Well, I was just looking at it from the standpoint of what had happened. You saw Steve Kerr's pregame interview, things like that. So I just think Golden State loosened up a little bit just because of the Uvalde situation. Um, I'm not going to say they conceded, but I'm going to say that they didn't come out firing like normal, like they normally would. But they played a good game to get back in the game. And AP's right. No bench is really that good, but
Exactly. Like really? 30-point
but
deficit? Come on, man. Come on, CC. Really? A 30? Okay, if that's the case, CC, if that's the case, why didn't Miami's bitch do that the night before?
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
How them come? They didn't come in and shorten the deficit when they bench players came in. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on,
yeah,
man. Like, and when it's all said and done, when you get a chance, like I said, Trey, when you get a chance and you see it, what Insight put it out about, and he put it out, I think this morning or last night,
Hmm.
about it's all about the money. People, a lot of fans, a lot of analysts, a lot of people in general don't want to accept the fact that a lot of it is about the money. Yeah, a lot of people saying, "Oh no, Golden State wants to win on their own home court. They want to win it on their own home court." It's more to it than that. When it's all said and done, in short story, if Golden State allows Dallas to win last night's game, which they did, and takes the game 6 back home, or game five back home, and plays back home in Golden State, that's $10 million that they make by playing that game at home. By playing that game at home, just that one game, $10 million is being made for them to come back home and win on their own home court. You don't think that makes a difference, CC, Trey? You don't think that has some type of value on how these series are played out? I mean, I'm just asking. Y'all help me. Y'all explain it to me, man. Maybe it's me.
So
That part, Freddie. That part, Freddie.
So I can understand the aspect of that when you look at it, what it costs if they can make money going forth and defeating them, and instead of, so that way they continue to make money because their fans are going to play for their home games. But maybe, but I can't argue that. I say I can't argue that. I don't believe it, but I would say I can't argue it. I can't argue that fact.
How you don't believe it, Trey?
I
You
don't
say you
believe
can't
that.
argue it, but how you don't believe it
I don't
when
believe it. So,
I think
those two don't coincide, Trey? Either you believe it.
I don't believe. So what I'm saying, I can't argue it because I can understand where you're coming
Oh,
from. So that's what I'm saying. But
mhm.
so I won't argue that that is truthful. But I don't believe that's what happened or that's what's going on. But I won't argue the fact of it's prevalent. It makes sense. It's a good point. Like, okay, but
Valid.
also I look at $10 million
That's a lot. That's a lot.
to us is a lot.
No, now we talking. Now we not. We talking about the. Now if, and again, Trey, when you get a chance to look at it,
Yeah, I
and
look at it.
Trey,
I just looked at it.
yeah, okay, did you
So I
you
knew what
see
you were
how
talking
much
about.
money? Yeah, and how much money? A certain portion of that money goes to the team, and then the majority of that money goes to the league. That's a lot, bro. That's a lot compared to if they'd have won in Dallas. That 10 million is gone. That extra 10 is gone. It's out the window. Because now you just now Golden State is just sitting waiting on the other series to finish. I
yeah,
mean, CC. I mean, talk to me.
it's
Y'all tell me.
I mean, it makes sense that it's about money. Most teams are looking to close you out at home. It's like Golden State did the same thing Game 5 against Memphis, where they got blown out by a squad without Ja Morant. Like um, and took it home. Won Game 6. I do think that, but I don't know if the players specifically are doing that, but it does appear that way.
Yeah.
I like to think that the players are being competitive and they just lost a game, right? But it does
Mhm.
seem like they want these teams to win at home, um, which is why I think that they're pumping even a Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Right.
Everybody saying it's going to go 7, so it's probably going to go 7.
Right. Right. Now I do not agree with Thomas in regards to Mavs gonna come back and win it all. I
No,
don't. I don't think it's that much about the money now.
no.
Why
That
not?
part I don't think
Why
is
not?
gonna happen.
Why not? We throwing all we get this bags to be
No,
collected. Why can't we
no,
sit? Why can't we have
no,
that? Why is that?
no. Because then I'm gonna tell you, be honest, Trey. Again, if we looking at people will feel like these games are rigged.
That's what y'all
There's
saying right now.
the
So
But I
but come
what's the
on,
difference?
four games in a row, bruh,
Hey,
bruh,
why not?
bruh. That's way
Three,
far
so
fetched.
that's
That's
three
not the
way
games,
point.
far fetched.
three games in a row have been won. What's one more game?
A lot,
No, bro, bro.
a lot, and I don't see that. It'll
No,
be a total collapse on Golden State's part. They're a part of making history, not on the other end of history. So
you're right.
I don't see that happening.
They was on it once with the 3-1. So hey, let's go ahead and give them the 4-0.
That's crazy,
No.
bro. I can't see that.
Why
And more,
not?
and Taylor made you make a great point. More beer, more business, more food, and more betting than take place. I absolutely those all
Yeah,
play a part. All of that plays a part in the whole scheme of these games going full 7 game series and things like that. And I'm like, CC, one of these series is not going to go 7 games, and one will. So either way, the NBA, the association, or the NBA organization, they're gonna get money regardless.
oh
You
yeah.
know, because one of these series the East is probably gonna go 7. But I just feel like with so-called conspiracy theory, you can't let it go. You can't let it go too far left because it's gonna raise eyebrows. It's gonna raise real. It's really gonna raise some eyebrows, bro. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, bro. That's just me.
So I guess yesterday with the all the money that Mr. Cuban has, and for his venue to be leaking water from the roof, I guess that was a
Bro,
conspiracy theory too.
no,
Conspiracy
bro,
theory too.
no.
Huh?
See, don't do that, Trey.
I'm just
Don't do that.
asking.
No, don't do that.
I'm
Don't
just
do
trying to
that.
get clarification.
No,
Make sure that I'm
no,
understanding.
that ain't no. Listen, Mother Nature ain't got nothing to do with conspiracy theory. You can't fight Mother Nature. Now it
You can't
was.
fake
I'm here in
rain.
Texas. It was storming here. It was storming here. We knew prior to the game. They had said yesterday morning, or actually, yesterday morning and Monday night, that a storm was coming through Texas. We knew this already. We didn't know how bad it was going to be, but obviously it was pretty bad up in the Dallas area because it did what it did. You know, there was leaking and stuff like that. But you can't put conspiracy theory with nature. There's no such thing. You can't do that. That's not possible.
See, you got to pay attention, Cornelius, because what I see here
Oh
is
Lord,
Bishop
here we
and
go.
Anthony are on their way to another case. They took care of the Deshaun Watson situation. Their next case is conspiracy theories in the NBA. So what we're hearing here is Bishop building his case and doing this. You gotta pay it. Y'all gotta stay woke. What we're hearing here is
This
Bishop is
dude here,
briefing
bro.
his
This dude
brass
here, bro.
what's going to go on, what his theory is, and how they could get how And then Anthony is basically talking back to him, and then they even try to pull me in. Anthony talk about Trey. Hey, do the research, Anthony. I know you got the research in front of you. Bishop has it in front of him too. Like, see, y'all have to stay
Stop it,
awake
man. This
with
dude
this
here.
stuff.
CC, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe.
Y'all have to
Don't do
stay
it,
awake.
CC.
Y'all gotta stay woke.
Don't fall for it, CC.
So,
Don't
like
fall
Anthony
for
said, first 3 games, Lucas was amazing, and they still lose. But somehow last night,
it.
same story, and they win.
But he
See,
toned
see.
down his business. It was, we can't overlook the fact. I keep saying it. The 3-point shooters, man. You can't overlook the fact that maybe Golden State weren't on the perimeter like they normally were, but 23 pointers. Anytime you hit that many, you stand a good chance to win. Uh, and that's
And
Dallas'
keep it.
fourth time doing that this playoffs, though. So
And not only that, CC, they did play in Dallas. We got to keep that in mind. They played in Dallas.
yeah.
It's not like they played in, that was something that they did on Golden State's turf. They did it in Dallas. So you're expected to win at home.
Yes,
You are expected to win.
and a lot of times when you're at home, players tend to feed off that, shoot better at home than they do on the road sometimes. So, but those 23s, I don't think Dallas can duplicate 23s. I don't think the Golden State Warriors are going to get that lax with their defense to allow them to shoot 23 or
That
make
part.
23s in the game. I should say.
That part. I
So
totally agree.
then I asked this question then, right? Staying in kind of the same thing of conspiracy theory as we go to the next topic. With as we know tonight, the Boston Celtics will be back in Miami for Game 5, and there was a certain calmness about Miami when they just got smashed 20 points, was down as many as 32 points in that game. It was a certain calmness. Is that calmness because they already know they're going to win? The conspiracy theory is okay. We going back home. We want to get this dub at home because at this point, even if you go back to the other series, currently there's only one team that has not lost a home game, and that's the Golden State Warriors in the playoffs. This playoffs, but is that calmness? Was there a reason? Is that calmness, or was that calmness just a ruse? And basically, they really like, yo, we have a problem, but they're just acting like, you know what I'm saying? We just gotta go do what we gotta do. We know we messed up. We gotta go take care of business. Which one is it? Spirit or lies and fallacies?
I think it's just a feeling. I think it's just, they came in. Everybody's been talking about this series going 7. I think sometimes the players give into that aspect too, man. Is
Everyone
that,
except
hey,
me.
the series, I think it means that, hey, they come out and they say, we knew we were going to be in a long series. I mean, we took a beating, but now we got to come back and get ready for the next one. I think their calm is no different than, the post game stuff that I used to see from like when the Lakers would lose. Magic would always be smiling and calm, man. Like, hey, we got another game to play, right? I think that's what it's all about. Is that players? I mean, whether they put it on the front or not, because they should be worried. We know that they should be worried, but they. I think that you got to play it cool, and when you got a coach like Bo, who seemed like he never breaks a sweat out there, man. Like, the only time I've ever seen him really hot is at his own team. Remember when he showed the clip early in the
Because
season? Like, Bo is always
Jimmy
calm, man.
Butler
Jimmy
is
Butler
so
got under his
disrespectful,
skin.
man.
Yeah,
Jimmy Butler
Jimmy
is
Butler
so
got under his skin. Yeah,
disrespectful. Talk
yeah,
about you ain't relevant. You ain't relevant because of LeBron and D Wade.
yeah, yeah. I'd have got hot too. I'd have been mad too. You ain't gonna disrespect me like that,
Spo
dog.
was piping hot. He was
Yeah, you're
like,
not gonna disrespect me like
he
that.
was little Caesars fresh out the cabinet hot. Like, yo, this Spo was pissed off.
I mean, but other than
Jimmy's disrespectful at the end of the day.
but other than that, he's under control. So I think sometimes the leadership, like the team reflects the leadership. Sometimes if they're calm, then you'll be calm.
And you got to think Spo has basically been taught under the tutelage of who? Pat Riley, and we know Pat Riley stayed cayenne pepper hot in certain
He
aspects.
did.
But you know what
Pat
I'm
Riley,
saying?
but Pat Riley was cool too at times.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
put
what I
don't,
said.
don't
He
sleep on Nick.
over time he's
Yeah,
saying he became saying. But L.A. Pat Riley, woo.
Yeah. Yeah, I think of Pat Riley. I always think of Pat Riley with one hand in the pocket, running that hand through the hair, man, the slick hair, man.
yeah,
Like, hey, we got this.
yeah.
We got this. and,
So
and,
Now
and
this.
besides,
I will say this though, CC. Pat he looked a little perturbed the other night though. Pat was over there with his mask on. He looked a little perturbed the other night when Boston was giving him that business. I will say that.
Pat comes from a different era. I'm sure it's about understanding the players in today's time, Bishop. Like, he comes from an era of the killer instinct and stuff, man. We want to take our opponent out. We want to beat them. Like, no doubt his Lakers wanted to beat the Celtics with a passion. And it's like that passion, and even when he played in New York, the Knicks, they had this certain passion that they were going to smash everything in front of them. And then when he got down there in Miami, it was the same thing. But now it's been a changing of the guard with the players, man. Like, so he's like, I'm sure he's like, man, where's that killer instinct? Where's our fight? If
yeah,
if you follow Pat Riley,
the only two people that you look at that's quote unquote is killers on his bench is on his squad is Jimmy Buckets. Hero has that mentality, and I would even go far
Bam.
as to say Bam. Bam and Tucker, and none of them showed up. One was
Tucker
Right,
don't have that killer
right.
instinct.
you don't think
I won't say
you don't
Tucker.
think Tucker got that instinct? He
No,
got
no.
that bad. Tucker got that bad boy mentality.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
he might have, but he don't have that killer instinct. I don't think Tucker
yeah.
has that killer instinct, and not in my opinion. Not in my opinion, he don't.
But
Well,
Hero
you know,
and Butler definitely, and then Butler laid the egg. Hero's out. Even when you look at tonight's injury report, currently what they stated is that Hero is still trying to make pushing to get back, in which he might not even make it back to Game 6. So they probably will.
I thought they said that he was going. They really gonna try and push for him tonight to play.
Yeah, they're trying to get. Well, that's what I'm
Oh,
saying. But
okay.
even though,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
but they might have to push it to a Game 6. Can they win at home without Tyler Hero? I think they can, especially when you got Oladipo. Hopefully, everyone doesn't do what they did. I don't
I don't think
foresee
they
2 games
can,
in a
Trey.
row. No,
I don't think they can. No, I think they need Tyler Hero's bench points in his
I
play. I
think,
do. I think they do. Go ahead, CC.
yeah, I think the Celtics are going to win this Game 5. So
Ooh, I do too.
yeah.
I do too.
And I personally don't think he's going to have Tyler Hero. He can suit up all he wants. I just think tonight Udoka gonna have the Celtics ready to play. It's gonna be up to Spo to make some adjustments with his lineup. He's not sure who he wants to play, who's gonna get the most minutes, and those crunch time minutes are the huge part that Miami has to worry about. No matter
you know what?
who suits up, who's not.
I have a hot take tonight. If
What?
Hero doesn't start or doesn't play,
Oh,
if Hero doesn't play, I would like to say that Duncan Robinson comes in and drops 20.
Good luck with
that's
that.
still but
Duncan
but
Robinson
CC
comes and drops 20.
but CC that ain't enough. That ain't gonna be enough.
Nope.
Kyle Lowry gonna have to show up, and Oladipo.
Well, I'm talking about because we haven't seen Duncan Robinson. He's going to sit up and be the difference. Everyone else is going to do what they got to, but Duncan Robinson is going to be the difference to pick up what Tyler Hero hasn't done. Yeah, because he hasn't. Duncan, we ain't seen Duncan in a couple of games, but Duncan for the come. I almost said something. Lord forgive me for I almost said. But Duncan Robinson is going to be one. He's going to come with that heater, and he's going to light up the arena. He's going to have the crowd loud. So Duncan Robinson, I think, is going to be their key tonight. Shooter.
Yeah, as in shoot them out of the game.
Oh,
they're gonna shoot him right out the game.
Man, the modern day shooter, man. I mean, some of them are really good, but it's like that Trae Young effect, man. You hit one or two, and then all of a sudden they just get gun happy and shoot you out of the game real quick.
Yeah, man, that reminds me of 2K.
Shots take you out of that.
That remind me of 2K. When guys get on 2K, they think they Michael Jordan and they shoot everything. You can't hit the side of a barn.
I guess that's not you.
Oh no. When I didn't send you some of my gameplay, bro. You see what I do, bro. Hey, my dude on 2K, bro. He all-star, baby. He all-star, baby. Let's go. My dude's averaging mad double doubles.
How many 2K players we got out there? Let me just so you know.
Let me know, man. Let me know
how
man.
many 2K players we got out there.
True players,
in the comments.
True 2K players who can come
You say not the ones that's coming up with the fit that they had on when they created the player.
Hey, not the ones that's out there like what was his name? What's his name? The Wayne brother who on above the rim had the whole gold outfit. Above the rim. He had the whole gold outfit and putting all the chalk on his hand like he was about to do something and hit nothing but air. Couldn't even hit the rim, hit nothing but air. Not these people, not them people, not them. I need somebody.
I ain't gonna never forget, man. I still been playing 2K one time, and them kids, man, kids are vicious at times. Them kids would sit up and it's like, he's still in his regular fit. They was talking. we was in the park, man. They was giving me the business. Ah, why he still got the regular feet on? Look at him. He's still playing in them
bro,
cargo
and
shorts.
them kids, bro, them kids. I ain't gonna lie. When you play with them kids on 2K, they make you want to fight them because they talk
Yeah.
mad trash. They
I was like, I come with you and your daddy
talk
ass.
mad, they talk mad trash, bro. And you be thinking, right? You playing, you be thinking, and all of a sudden you hear a little kid. Dude, you suck. You really suck. Boy, if I get around you, boy, I take my butt off and beat your behind.
It was a team of them, man. It was like, of course, it was like, so
Bro.
it was a team of them. Man, it was talking. I'm thinking to myself, ain't you supposed to be asleep? What are you doing up still? Like, yo,
No, not no LB, not on Xbox, bro. Not on Xbox. PlayStation 5, baby, all day.
and then even going a little further, it was the same thing with the people who I be tripping off the people that be playing Call of Duty. I be thinking, man, I did this for years for real life. Like who like you sit up in like I did this for real life. You sit up in because you've been playing this game and the way you know what I'm saying anyway. That's what people do when you know what I'm saying when you're inadequate.
That's why I don't play online. That's why I don't play. They do be talking. I know, man. They be going in, bro. Them little kids, they be going in calling you trash, cussing you out. I be like, where your mama at? I know you ain't cussing like that. You where your mama at?
She probably there talking about that's right, baby.
Yeah.
He said he's scared.
So you scared?
You scared? Tell me. Yeah.
Like I said, the keyboard, but that's definitely
I'll fight a kid. That's me, Anthony. I'm like that. I'll fight a kid. When I hear that, you get that business too.
You go get their handles, start looking, you go through. You befriended them and stuff like that. It's like, hey, I got a tournament. Hey, what's your email?
I'm like
you know
Anthony, bro. Yeah, I'm looking for the daddy. I'm looking. Yeah, y'all can get that business. I'm telling you, bro. I'm not playing. It's funny though.
It's like that little kid that was beating on those people's door with that whip, and it says his dad walked outside. It's like, where you live at, little bro? Let's go holler at your family right quick.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy. But and yeah, tonight, man, I do have Boston winning. I'm like CC. But don't be surprised, man. If Miami gets the dub, don't be surprised. I won't be.
Right.
I won't be surprised.
But I think Boston is gonna win.
Miami in 6. I'm sorry, Crystal. I'm sorry, Annie.
So the next
Miami in 6.
So he got him winning the next 2. Remember we talked about this yesterday, CC. Remember he said they got to get the next 2. If they lose tonight, it's a wrap, bro. If they lose tonight, it's a wrap.
So you think if they lose tonight, or let's say if they lose, if it goes to Game 7, you think it's over for Miami?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I already said I've got Boston in 7. I said that initially.
So it's even they winning in 6 games or bust.
6 games or bust.
Yeah, I think the Celtics are going to win this series. I think they're going to win. I think it'll be another. If it comes down to a Game 7, it'll be another pretty much route like they did the Bucks. It'll be another route. I think it'll be another route. Yeah.
That is interesting. So, starting to head into this NFL, one of the things going into this NFL, I had a question, Bishop, for you and Anthony. What's going on with Kamara? Do y'all have any intake on that? With Alvin Kamara and his situation?
Some silence about that.
You got one more time to come in.
I'm just you got one more time. See what I told you, Bishop? What I told you, Cornelius? That I asked her questions and all of a sudden something goes wrong. And look at me
I knew he was going to say that. I knew he was going to say that. That's why. Yeah, that's why I said what I said in the beginning before I said something's going on with my computer. So you wouldn't. I wouldn't have no.
He's like, God dang!
I said that in the beginning. No,
he had to sit up. He's like he started pushing stuff off his desk and stuff. Like,
this dude here, bro. No, man.
Just asking, do you know?
I don't know. I don't know anything about Kamara. I don't know anything about. I do know that y'all did hear. Y'all heard this. Y'all heard this, right? CC and Trey. Y'all heard 2 women are suing Deshaun Watson. That's not coming from me. That has been televised. Two women are
Yeah,
showing.
after y'all found out. So
Oh,
what so
y'all,
no,
where's y'all? Who is y'all?
it's not that they're suing them. They were already the ones that were suing. What they're doing is they're voicing their opinion to
Well, they're
what
upset at the
yeah,
Cleveland
yeah,
Browns
yeah, because they feel like they
yeah.
gave them the bag. And so
Mhm.
and it goes back to what we were saying like last year, like that's why Houston didn't do anything with him because the
They
backlash was
was
gonna
waiting.
come.
Right, right.
Yeah, it was just waiting for the backlash. So now you understand? So now you have the situation to where now they're feeling a certain type of way because they feel like y'all gave him $230 million after he sit up and has done this to us. But of course, they gave him the money because there's no criminal investigation, there's no criminal charges. It's at this point it's just civil. So it's like this is what's going on. Uh, but that's what, in my opinion, that's why Houston didn't play him last year because of
The
the
backlash.
optics of okay, you're choosing this over that, or that sports and then same money over the human rights, which would have been a damning situation for him. Now I think Cleveland can get through this for the most part, uh, but exactly. So yeah, I understand that. Like built off your recommendations that that had nothing to do with that. It's just a matter of their saying I don't know, but did y'all go to them and say, hey, we need y'all to do this so we can disregard? But
It's real
see
weird, bro.
what do you think about that, Cornelius? When you were talking about, do you think like how long does the organization wait around for things in this nature? Should they have wait till everything was done, or are they rightfully so? And like, okay, he's not guilty, he's not going to face any type of criminal
League
offense.
punishment.
Yeah, now you know what I'm saying,
Uh,
let me go ahead and
well, I got man, okay. I look at it like the league is the league. We know how the league goes. As far as when it comes to certain things, they tend to overlook certain things. I think any team in the league that was going to get Watson was just waiting to see what the criminal charges were, right? And once there was no criminal charges brought and it's all civil, then I think they said, well, if you're just going to end up paying your way out of it, pretty much it seemed like to me, Cleveland just said, hey, we can even help with your legal trouble. I mean, your civil troubles, right? We can help you in that department by giving you this contract, right? I
guarantee.
mean, and I think the only thing I want to say about the whole Deshaun Watson thing is one thing that you haven't heard from any team or from anybody in Deshaun Watson's camp is what has he done to change his habits? It's probably, it had to be something there, man. 22, bro, it had to be something there. So what have you done to, change your mindset or whatever? And I would ask him, if I knew Deshaun Watson, my question would be, man, why you couldn't do like most of these players and have one massage therapist? I don't
Well,
understand.
Bishop knows them. Bishop, did y'all ask that question?
Bro, if you don't, I didn't ask of another sort.
I would
I
think
mean,
that y'all had to ask that question during interviews, like saying, "Hey, what have you done?" Like just personal, from a personal aspect. I know you can't get close to him in the case, but being enthusiast that you are, I would just think, from a personal aspect, had you asked him like, "Hey, bro, like, have you changed your ways? Like, I know we can't pin you, and
right.
you know how they do CC when they when they be trying to act like they're your friend, but they really be trying to pump you for information. So I was just wondering, did you say like, hey, from a certain aspect,
Mhm.
bro, saying, like, so I was
I
just
mean,
wondering that said it came up.
but what do you guys think, man? Is it not alarming that they haven't been talking about whether he's getting any kind of counseling or anything, man? They haven't said anything of those things, anything similar in those paths of, what is he doing actually
So my
to make sure
my
that doesn't happen again?
Say he took
my
him
thought.
to a trip and not a spa day. Anthony, you stupid.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what we talked about. Remember, we talked about that. It's like, hey, when he's like, hey, we come in, and then he was like, probably like, yeah, it's gonna be masseuses and everything in there. And that's what they like, nah, we're not going. So, so I it's like, and when you think about it, it's like walking in
Oh
with
shoot.
it's like, yeah, we it's like walking there, and it's like the homie be like, hey, you like the down bad guy that we be seeing on we be seeing on Facebook, where he be like, sir, get me that masseuse. Like so, but in any case, to your what you were talking about, Cornelius, I would think that that in order to protect or help him, that there's this that there I will hope that Cleveland got has somebody that's staying on top of him, because true enough, like you said, 22, like at two, 1 or 2 is a coincidence. 22
Right.
now,
That ain't no coincidence. Yeah,
unless
22.
it's like
Right.
even there's a problem, or there's a problem, meaning that
Right.
even Deshaun got a problem, or someone's on your head got a problem.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? They done sit up and enlisted 22, 24 people to say that you did this to him, or whatever case like that.
Right.
At the end of the day. So in any case, there's a problem. He has a problem. But it's like when it comes down to it, it's like 22. And then if y'all go look at, I don't know, Bishop, if you look at it, if I had to send it to you, to the topics, I mean the things in which they say it happened during these alleged quote unquote times, what happened during the during the situation, it could have been, I mean, it could have been things that happened because, I mean, they're human. He's human. He's a man. Get aroused and things like that. But other things. But then when you start looking at it, you like, oh man, come on, bro. Like, come on, Deshaun, really? Like,
Right.
why?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. 22 is a lot. That 22 accusations in regards to Deshaun Watson, that is a lot. I don't know how he got off of that. But either way, he pulled it off. But he, like I said, time will tell. Um, everything will come out in the wash here eventually.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
I'm assuming.
You know what?
But
It's a little off topic. I don't know if we talked about this before. Did OJ do it?
oh boy, stop. It don't even matter. That's so long ago.
We
It
going
don't even
back
matter if
10
he did.
years. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
it's so
saying?
long ago. It don't even matter if he did or
I,
didn't.
I just wonder. I still been wondering. I've toiled over there in my head and wondered, did OJ do it?
Y'all silly. You silly.
Um, didn't he write the book? If I was gonna,
Yeah,
he wrote a book.
he did. He did write a
If
book.
I was
He
going,
did. Hmm.
I was
He
just
did.
wondering.
no doubt. Oh, no doubt on that one. But karma bit OJ anyway, right? Like,
It did.
you
It
know,
did. He ended up doing something foolish anyway, and ended up finding himself in jail still
right?
over some stupidness, over
You
an,
know,
over an award. But my question for you two are: which second year quarterback are y'all most concerned about, Justin Fields or Trey Lance?
This dude, man, I tell you,
concerned about.
this dude, man. Dude, man.
I like that transition though, Bishop. Man, more concerned about. I would have
This
to
year?
say Trey Lance.
Wow.
I would have to say Trey Lance.
Wow. You're more concerned that you're more concerned about him, or you feel he have a more promising upcoming
No,
season?
I'm more concerned.
That
Okay.
part
I
right
have more.
there.
I have more concern about the reason why I have more concern about Trey Lance is, let's face it, Justin Field plays for the Chicago Bears. They haven't had an offense in how long? So we know their struggles. They haven't really had potent pieces on offense in a while. So he knew that going in. He knew that when he got drafted there. He knew this. I don't think he knew that they were going to pick Andy Dalton over him for that long and drag that out like that. But I'm saying
Mhm.
he knew the challenges that he was going to face in Chicago, trying to turn that offense around. Trey Lance, man, is it going to be Trey Lance? Is it going to be Garoppolo? What are they going to do? I mean, that right there has to play with the young man's mind. Like, how many reps am I going to get? And like, am I going to be the guy? Or are we going to keep Garoppolo? You know, until that Garoppolo situation is fixed, man. I worry about his psyche, man. I worry about, how is that going to play on his mind?
Mm.
So, so I'm a complete opposite, and it's not because it's my team. It's basically
Of course
because,
not.
yeah,
Of
it's
course
not.
it is.
So what?
Yeah.
What? One thing in which Cornelius did state is that, and even Anthony said it. I don't see where they gave Fields any true help or anything like that. So with that being said, they took away what could have possibly been his only and best option in Allen and Robinson Allen
Allen
and sent
Robinson. Yep.
Allen Robinson and sent them to the Rams. And so now you know what I'm saying, now what is he left with? It's not to say that he's not left with anything, it's just we don't know what he's left with. On the opposite side of the spectrum, with Trey Lance, it's basically like, yes, you were drafted number 3 last year. You had a couple of starts here and there, one start of few starts. You played a little bit and get not give me in starting packages, so you got your feet wet. Now you have an opportunity to play. If you don't play, you're only going to sit out a year for the most part, or saying sit back one more year because Garoppolo is not going to be there. He's not going to even be a factor. What you have to remain and sit up and think about is Garoppolo has been entrenched in the 49ers system for the last 4 years, in which two of them, the two seasons in which he played, he took the only 2 seasons in which he played, he took him to this NFC Championship both years. So there has to be something to be said about that. Like he was injured the majority of the first year, the second year, and then he came back the second year. He got injured the third year, and then he came back the fourth year. Those 2 years in which he came and played the full season, the 49ers are in the NFC Championship game. One in the Super Bowl in which he didn't complete. So obviously, saying Garoppolo has some upside to him, and you have to look at like if he's able to play, its chances are you may not be able to beat him out. Although I'm very sure Kyle Shanahan wants to go ahead with his drafted, with who he drafted and who he has to go ahead and play. But at the end of the day, one of y'all got to be a backup, and which means whoever's not doing the best in the system, the other's going to probably have to back up, or whoever's better than the other. In this case, it can be Trey Lance has upside, but let's be honest. Saying when you look at who wants to win, I don't think San Francisco is worried about the fact that they traded they traded up and lost draft picks to get him. They're going to worry about the ladder in which they want to win games, and Jimmy's going to only be there for another year if they have to insert him. So that's what I think the most concern would come for Justin Fields.
But, but
And
that's why
so I'm totally going to agree with Trey on this one. I do believe Justin Fields is more of a concern because, like a lot of people are saying on here, including Trey, who does Justin Field have? He has no help out there in Chicago. So I do feel like he is more of a concern because there's more things in which he has to worry about. We do know that Justin Fields didn't have any um, protection. He stayed on the turf a great deal. Um, and if they didn't bring any help in regards to help, offensive line help as well as wide receiver help, somebody in the backfield to help him as well, try and take some of the pressure off him in that aspect. Justin Fields is going to have a repeat season, and my concerns are more for Justin than they are for Trey. Trey is kind of in a position like like CC said, we don't know what's going to happen with Jimmy. There's going back and forth with Jimmy, going back and forth, back and forth. Some people say Jimmy gonna stay. Some people say Jimmy isn't gonna stay. So we don't know. And then if Jimmy does end up staying, the next big question is, well, is is Jimmy arm the way it was before the surgery? So Trey Lance, I just think he needs time. If it was me and I was the general manager, excuse me, for the 49ers, I would definitely probably start Trey this year, especially if he plays well during the preseason and during the OTAs and all of that nature. I would definitely look at Trey and see how he's doing, and if he does well enough, then definitely I'm starting Trey over Jimmy, depending on how Jimmy performs, of course, after this surgery. His surgery definitely, his rehabilitation from his surgery definitely plays a huge factor on how he has I do feel like he has no help out over there with him out there in Chicago. You was about to say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, but doesn't that for me that's why it's more pressure on Trey Lance. The things that you guys have mentioned, like uh, uh, Jimmy Garoppolo has taken him to a Super Bowl. He's made it to two NFC Championship games. I mean, so Trey Lance, if he, if they can't reach those feats um, that Jimmy had, that they've reached with Jimmy, then the pressure is clearly on Trey Lance to outperform Jimmy and take him beyond that, right? To get him
Mm-hmm.
beyond, get a Super Bowl win. So I think all the pressure. That's why I think my concern is Trey Lance, and whereas the expectations are what for Justin Fields. We keep saying that he has nothing. So what are the expectations for him? So I think that he just has to go out there and play, right? Whereas Trey Lance has to worry about all that psychological stuff. Am I going to be better than Jimmy? Am I even going to beat Jimmy out, for the job? Like, when is it going to be my job? I think he has more to worry about. And then taking a team that seem like they could be a championship contender. That's going to be tough too, coming in as a young quarterback.
Let y'all
I mean,
tell it.
young
They ain't gonna
quarterback.
win but 9 games.
I mean, that's still the fact. That hasn't changed. Just so you know, that hasn't changed for me with Trey or with Jimmy. Either way, still that hasn't changed. But since we're speaking of OTAs, there were 3 no shows, but there were actually more than that. I heard of 3.
It's 3 major no shows.
Well, it's more than 3 actually, isn't it? Because when I looked at it yesterday, I think it's 4 major no shows because we do know
Debo
Debo
Samuels
didn't show.
and Kyler Murray.
Debo, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, as well as Aaron Donald are no shows at OTAs. So my question for y'all is, are OTAs important?
No.
Do y'all feel like there should be a great deal of emphasis on these individuals who have not shown up for OTAs? And there are more than these. There's more than definitely more than
that
3,
was the other one that
4.
was a no show. Aaron Rodgers
And Aaron
But
Rodgers.
these,
That's right, Aaron Rodgers
but,
too.
but,
Do y'all feel like
but these are
OTAs is a
voluntary,
big
right?
deal?
Yeah.
Yes, they are voluntary.
So
They are
these are,
voluntary.
like you said, Cornelius is pointing out, they're voluntary, and with that being voluntary, we're talking about key
But doesn't
individuals.
that build
But
team chemistry? Those traits.
but I was about to
When you
say,
go to these, go ahead.
so, and that's what I was about to say. But however, especially in the face of Kyler Murray and Aaron Rodgers, you guys are quarterbacks. You have potentially new receivers in the fold, whether they're new to the league or new to your squad, and you would think that to take the, as what history has taught us, anything could go down. In which where what you thought could have been time to learn, because now when you comes to mandatory OTAs, now you got to be there. You might not get that opportunity. So, with that being said, to take time to build that rapport with the receiver or running back on whoever you need to build with, or whomever, I'm very sure is paramount. And Kyler Murray and Aaron Rodgers aren't taking that. Of course, it's a little bit different for Kyler Murray and Debo, because they're enthralled in, I think even Aaron Donald as well, enthralled in
Contracts.
negotiations in
Yeah.
reference to contracts, even though they
Right.
probably shouldn't be, but they are. But then for Aaron Rodgers, it's about, he's an OG. And I think his coach said, we don't need Aaron here for OTAs. And I beg to differ, Cornelius.
I don't. Well, we know Aaron Rodgers does this anyway, and then he comes out and just winning MVPs. So I can see why his coach is like, leave him alone. Leave him alone, because he's going to come out and perform. I mean,
as a coach, would you?
I think. Go ahead.
As a coach, would you feel like you leave him alone? You'd be
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying it as far as Aaron Rodgers. He's earned his stripes, man. Like, because his thing is going to be what's going to be different now, right now, and then between mandatory. The mandatory OTAs is like, hey, and we know Aaron Rodgers spreads the ball around anyway, man. So it's not, it's not like it's not that he's just going to target one person anyway. So he's going to spread the ball around. It'll be easier to get used to. Now, Kyler Murray, I think Kyler Murray and Debo, I think for them, especially with there might be a switching quarterback in San Francisco, like we just got through discussing. I think that Debo should have, he should want to get as many reps as he can. I think he should want to show up. Kyler Murray, he just had to stop being stubborn and go ahead and man, show us something. Show
Go
and prove
play.
first.
Thank you.
Show and
Thank
prove
you.
first.
Stop it. No,
Thank
what's
you.
out? No.
Thank
Now,
you.
one thing, CC, hold on now. Hold on. I was with you for a second, but the one thing about Debo doesn't even want to be in San Francisco. He doesn't. He asked for a trade. He already said he doesn't want to be in San Francisco. So that's one reason why he's sitting out OTAs. 2, Kyler Murray, he wants a better contract. He wants a future contract that's going to show that he's worth something to that organization. Now,
as he said, show it.
And what somebody mentioned is yesterday, even though okay, we do know these OTAs are voluntary.
Mm-hmm. It's because he got all those radios and stuff over there. That's causing messing up on his internet feedback.
One of the analysts said yesterday that Kyler Murray, even though he's not at OTAs, him and Hollywood Brown are probably somewhere throwing the ball. Believe that that him and Hollywood Brown are somewhere throwing the ball. Now we know with what's his name, the other wide receiver, we don't even know if he gonna
D
play.
Hop.
D Hop, we don't even know his status. We don't
Oh,
know
he's
even
not
know.
playing. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
out for 6 games.
Yeah, so that part. So Kyler Murray, I'm sure, is working out with Hollywood Brown. As far as Aaron Donald, he wants his money. He feels like it's time for his contract to
Aaron
be
got 3 years left on his contract. Like, this
He's
is
not-
getting ridiculous.
bro. But Aaron Donald is that dude. Is he
I
not?
don't give a damn if he was the
What?
Messiah. Like, it's like at this
What?
point, like it's like
What? He just won a Super Bowl for that team. Are you serious right now, bro?
3
Stop
years?
it, bro. I'm just telling you what God
3
loves.
years? Come on,
I'm just
man.
telling you what they saying.
But I think he knows his worth. I think
I
Aaron
don't-
Donald,
That part.
I
that
think Aaron
part,
Donald
CC.
knows his worth, and he knows the timing and everything, man.
That part.
You know,
He trying to set the market. He trying to set the
Right.
market, bro. He trying to set the market. So I mean, now in regards to Aaron Rodgers, I totally agree with CC. This man is a veteran. That's like you asking Tom Brady to come to OTAs. Really?
I wouldn't.
What
I
do I
wouldn't
need?
even ask him to come back to the team.
Why would you need? Here he go. Here he go. Why would you need me?
Wow.
You don't need Tom Brady at OTAs. You don't need Aaron Rodgers at OTAs. Now you need him at mandatory next month.
Right.
Next month, June is when everybody is scheduled to be there, and it's
Right.
mandatory. But right now in May, no. For what? No. Aaron is Aaron. Aaron ain't gonna change. Aaron is gonna do what he do. Like CC, he spreads the ball pretty well. So you don't really need him. These younger guys, yes. Aaron Donald feels some type of way. He like, oh well, y'all got rid of Vaughn. Hey, right now I'm that dude on this defense. I'm that dude. I need y'all to reconsider. They really think about giving me my money. Where's my money?
Right.
He was
You know what I'm
already the hot man. I just don't agree with that one, especially when we had 3 years, bro. Come on, 3 years. You got 3 years work left on your contract, and because you won a Super Bowl, that's what's expected of you. Like, you're expected to help us win Super
So
Bowls.
what's expected of me to let me get my money? That's expected of me.
You got your
Let me
money
get my
when we
money.
signed. You got your money when we signed the contract 5 years ago.
Training
when
this
we did it.
contract, bro.
I'm just
Training
saying, like,
contract,
man.
Yeah, thank you,
The
CC.
impact-
Thank you,
don't-
CC.
the impact that Aaron Donald has on that whole defense.
If y'all what y'all telling me is, and what I'm hearing, and what I feel like I should be hearing is, if you're not playing to the expectation of your contract, you should be giving me money back. That's what I'm hearing. Because if you're playing to if you're outplaying your contract and you come tell me you want money, what about if, for instance, you're not playing to the contract, but you're getting that money? You're sitting on the sideline because for whatever reason, but yet you're getting that money. So I think for it to be for it to be something equality, to where we can sit up and say I'm outplaying my contract and clearly outplaying my contract, then it needs to be something in place. Or when you're not outplaying your contract or you're not living up to the terms of your contract, money needs to come back. And that's what I'm saying. And we're talking about guarantees. So we're talking about people with guarantees because every money, like if we know in the NFL, all money isn't guaranteed unless you put it in your contract. Aaron Donald, correct me. Aaron Donald has a guaranteed contract. Lately, these quarterbacks have been getting guaranteed contract. Wide receivers getting guaranteed contract to solidify their money in there, so there's no give back. But if you're not playing to the expectations of the contract, and when you won't, in my opinion, if you want to sit up and come to the table and be like, hey, I'm not playing my contract, let's talk about a restructure and extension. If we're able to take money back is on the table, then I'll sit up and agree with that. But until then, your contract is what you sign. That's what it's for. Unless it's a 1099, it's a contract. Abide by your contract. Because if it go bad, then you want your money. If it's going good, you're still getting paid. That's just my take on it.
But here's my thing: you have to double and triple team this guy and chip him and do all that stuff to keep him from wreaking havoc. I think what he's saying is, man, I've outplayed this contract. It's time for a new one. I think that's cut and dry right there. He said, yeah, I have a contract, but I've outplayed this contract. So give me what I'm worth. Especially if you're going to keep paying other people. Like you look around the league, man, all these other people are getting paid and not even putting in half the work that this guy's putting in, right?
But
Or not
those
even
guys,
doing half
true
the stuff
enough.
on the field.
True enough, but none of those
That
people
part,
are.
CC.
Yeah, that's true, but none of those. So one is, of course, predicated upon where they are. The other people ain't no one else asking to be extended or restructured of a
Okay,
contract with 3 years remaining on their contract. So now they're sit up and paying these guys that type of money, which y'all talk about, because they're trying to keep them for their organization. They are the Aaron Donalds of their organization. So they're trying to keep them in the fold so they don't go and link up with Aaron Donald from the other organization. So now you have a problem. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, it's true enough. Like, I'm not saying that if you've done the work, saying you should get paid. But when the time comes, yes, you should get paid. Not,
Why do I have to wait?
it's like, if that's
that's
the
what I'm
Why
case,
do
then
I have
saying.
to wait
it's
though?
like, why do we have to, what's the significance of the contract? Like, the contract is signed and then they hold you to the contract. Like, I went through agent school. Like, so some contracts can be broken or whatever case like that. You're in good for agents, and you're only good as what you have brokered. At that point, an athlete can come and say, "Hey, I'm just going to go ahead and go another direction." And the only thing that you're obligated is the money in which you brokered for that athlete.
But
But
this is
as
the
an
thing.
athlete, go ahead.
But my thing is though, Trey, I'm not guaranteed. Why do I have to wait? I'm not guaranteed to be
Right.
to stay healthy for those next 3 years. So pay me
Exactly.
now while I'm healthy, so I can give
Mm-hmm.
you the best I
But
can
that's
give
what
you.
you got when we brokered the last deal.
No, but that's no. I done the last deal when we did the
I've
last deal with
outplayed
y'all.
that.
Thank you. What the last deal
Mm-hmm.
was we Super Bowl champions? No, we were not.
But
We were
again,
not.
so I still come back to, we're looking at it as, okay, I have outplayed that.
Right.
But at the time when we came up, you was given what was your
But
worth.
but
So
but you can't
now
no, but Trey, you just
one
said
year
but.
does not one
Yes, it
year
does.
1 year does not sit up and just determine, like, okay, you had a good year. Are you going to, because you had one good year, you won as a Super Bowl.
It's not
Now
just one
you
good
want
year. You got
you
to add
want
the
to be
fact that
paid.
we won the Super Bowl too, Trey. That is a huge
Again,
factor.
but that's what was expected. That's what you got paid for. I could rest assured that it was something in his contract that was a bonus for if they got to the Super Bowl and if they won the Super Bowl based upon his performance. So he's getting paid for that. So now you come back and tell me you got the 1 year. What you want to do is you want to be provided compensation because you had a great year for the 1 year. So you want me to extend you over a certain amount of time frame, because now they have to restructure the
Absolutely.
whole contract, probably additional 3 years or like that, 4 years to engulf that other year to sit up and pay more. That's counting to get that. Of course, more years sit up and drop the overall cap, but I have to pay you more on the back end. Now I put myself in the predicting their bond. Me personally, I don't agree with that. You got 3 years on your contract. What we can, and you have
So let me put it to you like this, Trey. Let's put it in a military form. Let's do it like this. You got 2 years left on your contract in your current enlistment.
mm-hmm.
2 years.
Yes.
But you hear that there's a $10,000 to $15,000 bonus right now if you reenlist today. You
Mm-hmm.
get a $15,000 to $20,000 bonus if you reenlist today, but you still have 2 years on your current contract. Would you not want to reenlist now and get that $15,000 to $20,000 bonus, or do you want to wait 2 years off on the rest of your current contract and that $15,000 to $20,000 bonus is gone?
So what the difference in that is, in the military, you are able to look in the realistic because your window opens, so you're able to do that, and that's what is a rule. I
You're
mean,
able to
it's
do
an
that. You're
option
able to do
to
that
sit
in
up and get
NFL
it. So
too.
where
You can
you're able to go ahead and enter your window. No, you're not. you,
So are
they-
you
so
sure?
what happens is that when they can negotiate, they're able to come and they're able to start negotiating. You can obviously you can negotiate at any point, but you're not obligated to get that. In the reference to the example that you made, you're able to enter into your window and re-enlist in your window. And saying, and they just tack that time on, and like you just said, if it's a bonus that was there, if you're in your window, then you're able to do that.
you
However,
can't reconstruct your contract in the NFL the same way.
Right. You
you
Whether
can
it's
can,
reconstruct. They
so you can,
reconstruct contracts
they
all the
they
time.
Yeah, so what
Exactly.
I'm
So it's
saying
the
is
same thing.
I'm saying they can reconstruct the contract, but what we're talking about is the difference in you are able to and you can. Two different stories in which we're talking about. When you can come up and say, "Hey, I want to do the agent can go forth and be like, hey, um, Bishop wants to reconstruct his contract to do this at the third." You can sit up and bring forth that information. The front office will take that in consideration, and then they can be like, nah, we're not doing that. In the example you give, if you are in your window and you come and say, hey, I want to sit up and go ahead and re-enlist because they got the bonus, if you're eligible, you can do that because it's open to you. Isn't that so? That's the difference with what I'm saying. So yes, their contracts are reconstructed and everything like that, or reconfigured and extensions and all that type of stuff is happening. But in the difference in what we're talking about the NFL for that aspect, you have to, everyone has to agree to it. And so, but what we have in this situation is when they don't agree to it, the contractee is sitting out and not giving the services in which you've already been paid for to begin with, or what you're already contracted to be paid
But you're
for.
talking, but you saying he's sitting out? He's sitting out of OTAs. Like
Well,
you said, this is
I'm saying,
voluntary.
well, it's talking, yeah, yeah,
But so
voluntary, yeah.
that's voluntary. But
Well,
we're
I'm talking
talking
about
about
down the line. Yeah, I'm basically talking
right,
about
right,
down the
right,
line.
right,
Yeah.
right. I mean, CC, you was saying. I don't want to cut you off.
Well, you keep looking at it like these guys don't have a choice, but Aaron Donald is worth every penny that he's going to sit out for. I mean,
Facts.
that's just hands down. Like
Facts.
like I get it. Debo doesn't want to play. Like take Debo. He don't want to play in San Francisco. I get that. Maybe it's because the offense has changed somewhat, or they want to keep him running, being more of a runner than a passer. I mean, whatever the case may be. Um, um, Him sitting out is way different. It could potentially hurt the team, in my opinion. Whereas Aaron Donald is saying, "Hey, I'm what I'm worth. You know what I'm going to bring. I've already shown it." I think some of these guys do have to. I agree with you, Trey. Some do have to play a little bit longer in their contracts and all. But Aaron Donald is not one of them. You
Not that
cannot
dude.
say that he's one
Right.
of them.
So what I
You,
was
you know.
saying is just like what like Bishop said about this. I think I talked about this before. In any case, like we said, it's all about choices and options. And if you think saying you have that option, you have an option. Like I told you, I talked before. I know Taylor Made knows who I'm talking about. Sergeant Major Terry Fontaine during Hurricane Katrina. During Hurricane Katrina relief humanitarian mission, Sergeant Major Fontaine walked up on me. He's like, he put a burger. I was cooking burgers, grilling. We was grilling for the volunteers and our service members and stuff like that. So I was cooking burgers. Sergeant Major Fontaine walked up on me and said something to me. So in true Sergeant Amir fashion, I ignored him because I'm like, see, here we go with the BS. Sergeant Major Fontaine said, correction. He gave me an order. Flip my burger, Sergeant. So in my mind, I'm thinking like, yo, man, see, and I'm looking for the senior Bishop. I'm looking for Sergeant Rogers. I'm looking for Sergeant Rogers. Sergeant Rogers, you know what I'm saying? Wave him over. Sergeant Rogers comes over. What does Sergeant Major Fontaine tell him? I ain't call you, Sergeant. Move out. Okay. So now I'm looking over to the because at this time Sergeant Major Fontaine is the quote unquote division or 13 SCE Sergeant Major. I look over the other Sergeant Majors, my battalion Sergeant Major that's out there. I look into him, and this all kiki kaka, saying giggling and stuff like that. So I was like, so this is a funny moment. Gotcha. Options as we talking about and decisions and choices in which we have. So Sergeant Major looks at me again and says, "Flip my burger, Sergeant." And then out his mouth, he's like, and I'm going to put cheese on it, and there's nothing you can do about it. So at this point, I tell Sergeant Major Fontaine, Sergeant Major, there's choices, there's choices in life, and there's repercussions for the choices in which you make. It's just a matter of what you want to sit up and take the repercussion for that choice. And I looked at him, and I continued to flip my burgers when I needed to flip them. And you know what Sergeant Major told me? At ease, Sergeant. Flip my burger. But he walked off. So And that being said, like, yes, it's true enough. There's choices, but you have to live with the choices in which you make. So I get that. If they sit up, if the team says Sorry Major had a choice to where he could have told me, because he told me, he's like, "I front back go you all across this range." If y'all don't know what a front back go is, Bishop,
I know.
if you don't know it, and you talk about it, you're saying, and this could be a degradation for the most part, because I'm a sergeant. Like, Sergeant Major, why are you messing with me? I haven't done anything wrong. But in any case, you have these situations to where yes, at this point the organization could says, we're not going to do this. And then you have the right to go ahead and be like, well, I'm not going to do this. And at that point, now you're at stalemates. But the difference is, when upon the contract in which these individuals have signed, whether they have played out their contract or not, that's the only thing that's binding, that has truth, is the contract. That's the only thing that's the validity, because what you feel as you outplayed your contract, which is true, you probably have, or you haven't. If it was on the opposite side of the spectrum, is prevalent in the situation is there is a signed contract that is binding, that links you two together for a certain amount of time at a certain amount of money. And if you decide not to show up, I am not in my wrong, because I am not abiding by what you feel, unless that was what is put in your contract. But at the end of the day, like Cornelius, like you were just saying, they have the choice to there is a choice. Like, there's always a choice. But there's only one legal binding document that says what is legit at the time. So I think, like, from what we're talking about, for the most part, if organizations or teams are willing to try to get that in a contract, that if I outplay my contract by this, that, the third, then we can come back to the table. And of course, again, it relates to the organization that has to basically commit to that, or set the parameters for that, and which is not far off, but it's less than likely.
Well, take Lamar Odom. I mean, not Lamar Odom. Excuse
Jackson.
me. Take Lamar Jackson with his 5th-year option, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, to play under that, and to play under that, in my mind, after the way he has performed, and we saw him take an injury this season, and we saw where that put the Baltimore Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
So to come in and play under that 5th-year option when he's clearly worth way more, in my mind, would be crazy on his part. I think it would be crazy on his part to go to play under that 5th-year option, because he's worth more. And as we saw, an injury can take you out at any time. So it's like, get it while you can, is what I would say, because we know.
So what we know is Lamar is the sticking point for his. They're ready to do business with him. But I think we talked about this before. I don't think you were on CC. Lamar, seemingly, in my opinion, is waiting for the market to be set. The last domino to fall in the market setting of the market, because of course what we've seen is people have continued to go up. So he could have been signed. He just hasn't came to the table. He's been sitting back, or whatever case like that. They're ready to sign him, but it seems like he's waiting because the market keeps getting reset. And so you still have someone out there, like you was just talking about, Arizona Cardinal, Kyler Murray. He's shit out there to potentially get money, in which if he's waiting on Kyler Murray to reset the market again, I don't know. Go ahead.
But that's my thing with Jackson is, who are you waiting on? Aaron Rodgers has already set the market. Yeah. The market's set. Yeah. The market's set.
Well, wasn't that reset it? Deshaun Watson reset it.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson was missing it.
Yeah, he reset it. So now, but like you said, like, I hope he's not waiting on Kyler Murray. Like, I surely hope he's not waiting on Kyler Murray.
You sure who not waiting on Kyler Murray?
Lamar Jackson.
Because Kyler Murray.
Oh no, I don't think so.
Kyler Murray's issue is different in my mind. I think Lamar Jackson has proven enough to warrant
definitely
any money that they give him.
Thank you. That's what. Look at the look on Bush's face. I've been saying that, CC.
I don't think that Kyler has earned that yet. Like
what? CC, don't do it.
Has he played?
CC, don't do it.
Don't
do it, CC.
Here's the difference to me, Bishop. Has Kyler Murray played a full season yet? Has he played a full slate of games yet?
Yes.
He seems to be injury prone.
No.
When
has he? Injury prone. He has it.
He seems to be injury prone.
Like, he has it. That's emotion speaking from him. We know he has it. That's emotion speaking. Hold
on. And you mean to tell me Lamar has? Because Lamar done had some injuries too.
Yes, but Lamar is a
but Lamar
Super
has
Bowl.
but
I mean,
Lamar
he's a
has taken his
MVP.
team
He has what?
right.
He's an
Lamar was
MVP.
MVP. He was MVP. He was
The first
MVP.
year.
Second
But he's
year.
already look, and not only that, he's played in meaningful. He's already played in meaningful playoff games and proven that hey, you a step away here and there from making something happen. You know, a Super Bowl run. I mean, I can't say that the Cardinals can see a Super Bowl from where they're sitting
Wow.
with Kyler Murray right now. I mean, I'm just saying Kyler Murray has to do a little bit more and be on the field a little bit more. You can't keep sharing time with Colt McCoy and you want them to give you the whole bag, man. You got to be out there at some point.
Wow. Y'all are
I second
really
that.
disrespectful on
It's
Kyler
not
Murray, bro.
disrespect. So, like I said,
Y'all are really
it's not
disrespectful to
disrespect. It's
Kyler,
not
man.
disrespect. It's just what the truth is. He hasn't played a who's. He went to the playoffs last year, and now he wants to. It's the same thing which I'm talking about, Aaron Donald. But Kyler Murray went to the playoffs
Isn't
last
that what
year.
Lamar did? Isn't that what Lamar did? Went to the playoffs. That's as far as he's gone.
True, but
Nope.
what I'm
That's
saying,
as
so
far as he's gone. He hasn't made it to he hasn't made it to the conference finals. He's only made it to the playoffs. So
he's
But
what's the difference?
look at how his
Lamar
team
Jackson.
plummeted without him.
Lamar Jackson is a two-time Pro Bowler. He's a one-time All-Pro. He's a 2019 MVP. He was the
I like that, Anthony.
Offensive Player of the
I
Year.
like that, Anthony. Thank you. I like that, Anthony.
The hell do you say? He was an Offensive Player of the Year. He was a PFWA Offensive Player of the Year 2 times, and the Rookie of the Year. Like he's is more than what
Right.
Kyler is at the end of the day. But
Right.
like I said, I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve his money. I'm saying he doesn't deserve his money now. Like go
Right.
play one more
Give me
year
another year.
and show me what
Lamar,
you.
but Lamar deserves his money now.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he's
Oh
he's
my
a
god,
he's
y'all are. Oh my god, y'all are hating on Kyler, bro. Y'all are really
Not
hating.
no.
hating.
Y'all
Not
hating on
hating.
this dude, bro.
Kyler is
Just
hating on Kyler, or
How's Kyler hating on himself?
right.
because Kyler has put himself in this position. Like you
What
know better,
position?
bro.
Injuries? He didn't put himself in injuries position.
No, I'm
What
saying
position he put himself?
I'm saying he
Y'all
put.
y'all fail to realize he doesn't have his key receiver. For
What that
his
got to do
key
with
receivers,
anything?
that's a lot.
No,
I bet
no.
you. I
We're
put it
not
like
going
this.
to.
Watch
Didn't we
this.
just sit up
I,
and say Justin
watch
Fields is going
this.
to falter because he's a number one? He was a number one
And he
draft
has no
pick.
weapon. And he had no weapons. And look what he did. Nothing. He had Allen Robinson and couldn't do jack doodoo. Jack doodoo. Now watch this. Watch this. We're gonna see just how well Patrick the Great and Aaron Rodgers does without having a two key receivers. We just gonna
True
see.
that.
We gonna see.
True that.
We
And
gonna
that's
see.
what I've been saying the whole time. Why I have been saying this is what it's going to be. Now I haven't said that about Aaron, but what we've seen in Aaron is Aaron makes receivers around him better. I will say that when
Yeah.
Cornelius brought that up, in which I have to think about that. Like true enough, Aaron Rodgers does make
Cobb.
receivers make it.
But
No,
but this is the thing. Kyler don't have multiple weapons like Aaron Rodgers did.
Yes, he
He
does.
doesn't.
I mean, now he
he
does.
does now.
He does. We'll see, and that's what I'm about to say. This season will show
then
you
they
why
take-
Kyler Murray is going to be that dude. Because before D Hop went down, they was 10-2, 10-2. Before D Hop went down, 10-2, bro. And then all of a sudden, D Hop go down and they lost the last 5 or 6 games. They went 1-5. Come on, bro. Come on, man. We gonna see. We gonna see. We are going to see when time comes.
I hope you're right, but I don't think. Man, it's so hard right now, and it's early on. But with all the competition over there, I don't see the Cardinals really being a factor. To be honest, I just don't. I mean, it's too much competition. I don't see them being a factor.
That's
And
fair.
I'm hoping, like I said, I hope he does enough to show that I do, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like taking those factors in consideration, we have to simply take, if we see those factors, take those factors in consideration, then of course it's obvious. Like, but it's like he has to, in my opinion, he has to show that minus those factors, what did, you know what I'm saying, that he's produced enough to show that I can be this individual if I have what I need. And I think that's the only thing he needs to show, but he hasn't shown that. Like this is their first year. They went to the playoffs. They was ousted in the first round. Okay, and now you want to sit back and be like, nah, I want my money. No, you ain't did nothing, fam. Like first, same thing I look and feel as Debo. You've been injured the majority of the time frame. Now this is your first year in which you know what I'm saying, a full year, and you show us what you can do in the first year. Show me one more time. And then even though they're willing to pay him, he just doesn't want to sit there now.
But Trey, my problem with the whole Debo thing is how they have him playing. The style of play. I mean,
And
The
that's what
guy's
he
a
upset
receiver.
about.
The
That's
guy's
what
a
he
wide
was upset.
receiver, and I think he just
Yeah.
wants to be a receiver and not your running back and all
Yeah,
that,
true
man.
that.
It's
I
like,
can
That's what
understand
hey,
he
that.
was upset about. He don't want those all those roles. That's exactly it,
you
CC.
know,
Yeah, I understand that. I can understand that, and that's where they need to come to. But it comes down to one of those things that's like, okay, I got it. You're a wide receiver, and we all know, you know, what I'm saying when you sign a contract, like then the catch all is or anything in which is asked of us, and he feel like he's a wide receiver and he wants to only catch balls. Duly noted, got it. Or I mean, you. So I would say that you can't say that I can't run you. What you can ask is that in order to help you to preserve yourself, that you don't run me as much. And
right,
so that's what my
right, you
thing
don't.
is. Don't tell me I can't. You don't want to be used in this way. Let me know that you care. You don't want to be utilized as, you know, saying that a huge utilization rate as a running back when I have running backs that are on the field. That's the difference. Like, it's for me, put the products on me to sit and figure out how do I run this, because of course if I bring on a running back and run him out and put him out at receiver, chances are, you know, a run is coming. So, you know what I'm saying? So you have to tell me, if you telling me, hey, don't do this, I can understand that, in which we're going to use you in that sense because we've seen it's effective, but I can understand not using you in a high usage rate. And now it's on me as the offensive coordinator and the head coach to figure out what do we put up, what looks do I put out there. So when I do have a running back out there lined up as wide receiver, that it's not guaranteed that the play isn't that he's just going to get the ball, and to go like that to fix to utilize that. So, you know, I can understand that, but besides that, play out your last year, bro. You got one more year.
But it's kind. But then you got to think about it too. Maybe he wants to showcase his skills so he can get that wide receiver money. I mean, better contract, right? Like, like we know running backs
Well,
don't
they
make
tried to
all the
give him.
greatest money. You have to
They
be a
tried,
special
yeah.
running back to get that money.
Yeah, they
You
had.
know,
So he's getting to. They tried to offer him 20 million, which is what the market is set for wide receivers for the most part. He didn't want it because he wants to be traded. He wanted to be traded or bounce to go somewhere else. So, I mean, everyone, you're saying open, but of course, due to the contract, they're not obligated to trade him. He can sit out and lose that
right,
money.
right. I don't recommend anybody unless you already paid sitting out. We saw how that worked out for Labia and Bell. We saw how that
For
worked
real.
out. Like that didn't work out too
Geo.
well. That sitting out. I wouldn't do the sitting out thing.
Yeah.
No.
So, something that came up, the Pittsburgh have selected a general manager. They have selected Omar Khan, who was currently already in their organization. And Omar Khan is expected to become their general manager. He's been with the Pittsburgh organization for over 2 decades, starting back in 2001, in which he started out as a football operations coordinator. Of course, he's moved up through the ranks, and now, of course, via his interview after they have been looking and searching, he was selected as, or he's due to be announced and selected as their new general manager going forward. So, a couple of things the NFL, if you haven't seen, the NFL is looking at uh, tweaking their hiring process once again. Of course, one of the things that came out, as we know, they had a diversity conference during the owners conference in Atlanta, to where one minority from the front office as well from the staff that are up for potential head coaching positions or GM positions, whether it be a minority or a woman, was invited out to politic and talk and go through conversations and stuff, and some of the stuff with the owners to get more of a one-on-one feel, you know, saying, in which that yielded, what came out is the the NFL has extended the Rooney Rule to the quarterback position, the quarterback coach as well. So now the NFL had a organization looking to interview for, of course, general manager, um, head coach, front office positions, or other front office position now, as well as the coaching position, has to interview one minority as well. Something else that came out, and let me know if y'all think this, if any of it makes sense. The NFL now has pushed the time for when you can interview. Now, potential coaches, or interviews cannot be conducted till after the first round of the wild card, till after the wild card round.
I think that's huge because I think sometimes You bring a guy in that's still in the middle of the playoffs or something, man. He not focused on that. He focused on his team, the team that he's on winning. So he's not coming in prepared for an interview for a job completely, right? So I think it gives him time to prepare. I mean, preparation is everything, right?
And what about the Rooney Rule extended to quarterback coaches?
Um, I think at some point I would hope that they don't even need a rule, man. I hope it's just fair all the way across the board. But since they have extended it, I think that they should keep extending it. I think that they should keep pushing it out, not just for just minorities, quote unquote, but see more diversity in the front offices. Women across all other fields can surely come in and run a front office there, right? If they're running front offices elsewhere and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it's a good thing, but still one of those things. Why do we still have it in 2022?
Because they spoon feeding it. They spoon feeding the
And
Rooney
that's
Rule out to
that's
everybody.
that's what
They giving you a little bit here and there, here
yeah
and there.
that's
Oh, here, take it here, take a little bit over here. We don't want to expand it too much. We want to still have control. So we'll give you a little dabble
you,
here,
you,
a
you
little
think it's
dabble
Yeah,
there.
control really? Y'all
Yeah,
think
man,
it potentially is
it's
control?
control. Yeah, it's
I
control.
no doubt it's control, but
Yeah, it's control. Without question.
no doubt it's
Without
control.
question.
I think one
Without
day we need to
question,
do a
bro.
show specific on the Rooney Rule and that effect of it.
It's definitely control, without question. But did y'all hear about this? And I want to hear y'all thoughts.
Oh, that was yeah. I had that topic. It was one of the last ones, but yes, it needs to be changed.
Man, I haven't cared about the Pro Bowl since the turn of the century. I'm not gonna lie.
Who has CC? Who has? My homie, exact. Who has? I don't even think people watch the Pro Bowl no more.
So
Like
I
who
think
Right.
has?
it definitely needs. I think what they do need, and they talked about it briefly in retrospect to definitely removing the game in itself because it's just not a
People
competition. It's
too
not
many.
it's trash.
The main players are opting out because they don't want to get
Right.
hurt. They don't want to play. The Super Bowl teams definitely don't play in it. Like
Right.
who
They
like
can't.
right. So who's the Pro Bowl for?
Exactly.
It's a worthless game now. It's a game that no. I remember we used to really look forward to the Pro
Yeah.
Bowl back in the
Yeah,
day.
because it was
Back in the day,
hitting.
it was yeah. We used to
It
be
was
like,
a
oh yeah,
game.
yeah. It was like the All Star game. We was like, oh yeah. Back in
Yeah.
it was that thing. Now people don't even care about the Pro Bowl at all.
Right.
They give less than about the Pro Bowl. So my thoughts is, I say get rid of it. Do away with it.
Yeah, it's yeah. They need to go to probably like they said with more of a situation to where they celebrate the players and
Yeah.
also while celebrate the players to give the fans some fanfare. Doing the different competitions and stuff like the QB precision challenge, the fastest player challenges, things of that nature, like more one offs as opposed to a game because the game obviously isn't. Yeah, that this year I was like, this is trash. Like what?
It's been
Like
trash. Like CC said, it's been
Yeah.
trash for
It's
the past few years.
yeah.
It's
It's
been
yeah.
trash for the past few years, bro. To be honest with you, I don't know why it took them this long.
Mhm.
When
um
them when them
uh-huh.
when the players started opting out of being a part of the Pro Bowl, that's when it should have been
Right.
up for discussion. Then when players was like, "Oh no, I think I'm good. I'm not." They're not even looking forward to it. It used to be
No.
something that players used to look forward to. They're not even looking forward
They're
to it.
basically begging players to participate in it. Like they keep
That
going
part
down the list until they get players that
to play.
that say, okay,
That
yeah,
part.
I'll do it.
Yeah, that part. And that's when you get a lot of the young players that want to play because they may not have gotten the playing time that they felt like they deserve. So they trying to see if they can get some type of playing in the all or the Pro Bowl game. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just something that they definitely need to revamp or redo. Some people say they feel like they should do it like the NBA All-Star, like you said, Trey, regards to implement some type of skills challenge. Remember when it used to be the fastest man in the NFL and
Yeah.
the quarterback? Like I don't know, it's not what it used to be. It just isn't. The Pro Bowl is nowhere near what it used to be, in my opinion.
hmm So of course, Bishop, for you, so mainly this is for you in your thoughts as well as UCC. Tyreek Hill has came on and stated that Tua Tagovailoa is one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the NFL. So Bishop, I don't understand the reason for your sighing and all that type of stuff when you have the receiver in himself
Trey,
stating that his quarterback
Trey,
is one of the most accurate quarterbacks
Trey.
in the league.
If
Extremely accurate.
Trey, if you don't recognize a receiver trying to boost up his quarterback's confidence by making that statement, you're blind to the fact, bro. You're
Read
blind to
between
the
the
fact, bro. He's just trying to boost his confidence, bro. He's trying to ensure people like myself who don't believe in Tua that, oh, hey, y'all are wrong. He is that. He's not. Okay. I ain't even finna talk y'all to death. We'll see. We'll
right
see.
there. Right there.
We'll
I
see.
agree. I agree with what Bishop just said. You never heard anybody coming out saying, Tom's the most accurate," and you don't have to.
Thank you,
Right?
CC. Thank you.
Nobody,
Thank
you don't even
you.
hear what's
Because
his
Tom
name?
is not the most
DeAndre
accurate.
Hopkins. You don't hear DeAndre Hopkins said that Kyler Murray is accurate. You don't hear all that stuff. I mean, it's just
Thank
a
you.
receiver. What is he supposed to say, man? Is he supposed to say this guy's trash? He can't really say that, right?
That part, CC.
And
That
then
part,
go down,
CC.
he can't
That
say
part.
that,
Come on, bro. Come on. Thank you,
you know,
CC. Thank you. Come on. You had to see
true
that coming.
champion professional right there. That's all it is.
He's accurate. And that's all that's to be said about it.
Really?
Brian DeBall, head coach for the New York Giants, has stated and come on the record and said that he wants his quarterback, Danny Dimes Jones, to let it go. Don't worry about anything. Don't worry about trying to let it go. Do you all agree with Daniel Jones just letting it go? Do you think that's upside for him if they take parameters off and allow him to play in his last year, because they did pick up his fifth year, so he's on his last year. What do you think about the coach telling his quarterback to just let it go?
What was the coach telling them before? I mean, what was his previous coach telling them?
I don't know. His previous coach was Judge, right? Judge was the old coach for New York,
right? But
I guess he was like, yo. I guess he had them handcuffs on him, and now
I mean,
the
you mean to
ball is
say?
like, yo, let it go.
But
Well,
wait,
you know
his
what,
same coach.
CC? He could have been like
Joe
Sean Payton. He could have been like Sean Payton, where he didn't want Jameson to have as many turnovers. Not saying that Daniel Jones was doing that, but he may have been like Sean Payton, kind of being conservative and kind of like trying to prevent turnovers. I'm assuming, but like you, what was the the previous coach saying to him? I was like, I don't get it
I
either.
don't know, but so he's telling him to let it go because he's telling him basically from what that he doesn't want him to be worried about just to be able to if a mistake is made and know how to get around a mistake and come back and and bring it back in. So I'm I'm not sure if he's just telling him, hey, let it rip, but he's like, let it go, just saying, let's play ball. And now Daniel Jones has been given the green light to turn it loose, and we're gonna see what Daniel Jones can do.
He's been a starter for a while now. I should hope he should let it go by now. But
that part.
Joe Judge was the coach there, and now he's the quarterback coach in New England.
Yes.
How does that work? He's the quarterback coach in New England, right? And then he had, hopefully that works out. You know, I can't root for the Giants, and I think that
sure I can.
I think that Daniel Jones, Cowboy all day. Daniel Jones,
Eagles all day. Sure.
Daniel Jones, I don't think he can.
Capping,
I don't think it's gonna matter. Put it that way. I don't think it's gonna matter.
Speaking of which, let me
everyone keeps on talking about how New York is at the bottom of y'all. Like everyone keeps on basically saying New York is the bottom.
Everybody.
Watch. Just wait. I'm not gonna say it.
Let me throw this out here though, real quick before we.
Machine wins the title first. The Mavs.
Oh man, for real? Is that a real question? Is that what we do? All right. Cowboys. I don't see the Mavericks ever winning the title, even with Luka. I don't care who they put with them or whatever. I just don't see them winning anything. I think that Jerry Jones, he's old now. I think he'll get one before he has to remove himself from the team. I think he'll get another one first. Yeah,
The
but
Cowboy. That was just a question, CC, that a lot of the analysts were saying yesterday
yeah,
because of what's going on with the Mavs, what's going on with the Cowboys every year. That they was wondering who's going to win first for Dallas, Mavs or the
I'm going
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
I
I'm
have a
going
better
Cowboys.
one. Who wins the title first, the Eagles or the Cowboys?
Oh, that's easy. Eagles. That's easy. Oh,
Man,
Jay said neither.
I gotta say Cowboys. I'm taking Cowboys over the Eagles, man. I think we'll finally get over the hump. Once we get out our own way, we'll be all right.
So as we get ready to close out, this weekend, Bishop Cornelius, a couple of days away, Tank Davis will face Rolando Romero for his lightweight in the lightweight division for them
Is that
straps.
this weekend?
Yes, this weekend, bruh.
Oh, wow.
This weekend. And then even after the fact, before he has even got through Romero, he is already Gervonta Tank Davis is already calling out Haney, talking about you talking all that crap. And if you get your W, let's get it on. Let's get to going. So of course, with that being said, we know Tank Davis. He's leaving uh Mayweather's he's leaving Mayweather, getting from under Mayweather, uh, and going and setting out on his own. So it seems like he's trying to get these bouts set up, not scared to take on anyone, ready to rumble with whoever it is. I was wondering, was Romero going to give him problems? But I think Tank is in a different mindset right now, so I don't foresee that happening. Additionally, y'all, I guess y'all believe the same thing. Like, nah, Tank is finna dismantle my man.
Yeah, he been
Um,
crashing.
Canelo Alvarez versus Triple G is set for 17 September. Of course, y'all know September 15th is the Mexican holiday, is the Mexican Independence Day, in which Canelo Alvarez is due to fight on the 17th. Canelo Triple G, what's this, number 4? Is it even worth seeing? Do y'all want to see that? I mean, we'll watch it because it's Alvarez and Triple G, but
Yeah.
really, like,
No.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty much got old, bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty much got old, bro.
Man, boxing needs to do something to revamp it for real, for real.
Crawford versus Spence.
That's what we need to see. That game, that fight right there.
Javante versus Stevenson. Let's get it.
Yeah. Better fight.
David Benavidez won his fight against Lemieux, and instantly after winning his fight, what's up, Punchline? I know this is with your alley. Eventually, after winning his fight, he comes down and he calls out Charlo, Jamel Charlo, Canelo Alvarez, Caleb Plant. He calls them all out. He wants to KO all of them, and he guarantees his KOs. He guarantees his KOs. So in that case, where do we have a situation to where, in any case, I think the boxing genre is about to get real heated. Of course, as we like you said, potentially with Stevenson, on the correction, not Stevenson, with Crawford and Spence coming up. If that is in fruition, who we are at this point, who we are looking at, Spencer or Crawford?
I like Spence.
Really?
Yeah, I
That's
like
gonna be a
Spence.
good one.
Wow.
That's gonna be a good
I
fight,
like
bro.
Spence.
That's
Spence
gonna be
over Bud? Over Bud? Really?
that's gonna be
Yeah,
a
I
good
like
fight. I'm not gonna front. That's gonna be
I
a
like
good.
Spence.
That's gonna be a good fight. I look forward to that fight. That's gonna be a blockbuster for sure. I don't know
Yeah.
who will win that. That's gonna be a good fight. I
But
really don't.
I like Spence. I like the technical, mechanical aspect of it, like
Spence
mechanically
is bad.
dissect the opponent.
He's a
Like
bad man. He's bad.
like I don't have to go for the knockout right away. I can beat you with these things. So that's what I want to see. Like that boxing now.
You don't think
Yeah.
Bud has the same that same tactician approach?
Not really. Not as thorough.
Okay.
I think when it comes down to two of the best, man, it's about who's the most thorough, and I think Spencer's a little bit more thorough.
Nice. I like it. I like it.
Interesting.
I like it. It's gonna be
Y'all
a
see
good
Freddie
fight.
that? Y'all see that Trey versus Bishop? See that on the
What in a rap battle? You know what? It'd be like Frank Gore and Derek Williams, like breathing hard,
Breathing hard,
all in the corner of
getting
the
water.
corner.
Yeah, that part.
We'd come out in gloves and get to the middle of the ring, start playing paper rock scissors.
That part. Yeah, that
Oh,
part, bro.
So, of course, again, that's our time for the day. As we thank you, High Speeds, graciously for rocking with us and and coming out to hear us. You know what? It'd be like that, Freddie, until one of us say something like USC or Oklahoma. And then it's like then all the gloves come off. And it's like it's completely different. For as I've told that I've been told that this so specifically so we can go at each other because of the. So you know what? It's not even about the fact that Bishop says the Pac-12. I mean, that he says anything about the Pac-12. It's a simple fact that the lies in which he tells, like he doesn't act like it's like he does. Like I sit up and say, I don't think the big. I think the Big 12
was trash.
nice.
CC, is that a lie?
I think the Big 12 is nice. I think the Big 12 is nice. However, currently, I think Oklahoma is trash. Oklahoma has been nice. Oklahoma has been nice over the course of the seasons. Now I think they are trash.
The seasons of the century or the last 4 decades. Thank you, CC.
They have dominated. Oklahoma has dominated the Pac-12. I mean, correction, the Big 12 in some instances. As I looked it up, when it came to some games against the Pac-12, there wasn't any dominance. So it's like to sit up and say like then we come up with
we dominated our division.
USC just now. USC can finally start winning again, right? Weren't they on probation or something? Then they had to sit out.
Well, no, they can't. That's a very good point, and that's not even cap. That's a good point, Cornelius, because what happened was when we was hit with, we didn't get the death penalty, but you might as well have gave us the death penalty. We didn't get the death penalty, but it hurt us tremendously. Is where now we are.
Y'all still? How did it hurt y'all, Trey? In what way?
We lost a bunch of scholarships. We recruiting. They killed the recruiting because now it's like you're not able to win any championships. It's like y'all playing. Right. We could have been the number one team in the country, and we wouldn't have been anything except for the number one team in the country, and that would have been it. Right. We couldn't get it. We couldn't gain anything.
Y'all couldn't do that though.
Well, they removed it. Well, we couldn't recruit anybody.
Right.
So now
what about the guys that y'all already have though? You can't recruit nobody, but what about the guys y'all already had? What about the dudes y'all already had?
Anybody. Well, it was a top tier talent. So let's think about this. USC went from being a juggernaut.
Y'all was never a juggernaut. Stop it, Trey. Oh, CC, please get this dude, man.
We was a dynasty. Come on now, you're not going.
CC.
Pete Carroll had him tough.
But they weren't no juggernaut. They were not no juggernaut. They were tough. We
were looking at getting the third consecutive national championship.
They were tough in their conference. We
were tough in general. We won 2 national championships in a row. I was looking at a third one until we got beat by Vince Young.
By Vince Young and the Longhorns.
Yeah, the Longhorns beat us. So if they hadn't beat us, that was our 3rd national championship in a row. So we were a juggernaut.
But since then,
y'all got beat by Big 12 team, right? You said since y'all got beat by Texas, right? A Big 12 team, right? That was a Big 12 team, right?
Yeah, we lost to Texas.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering.
That's what I was gonna say. The Bush era, right? Since y'all had Reggie Bush, y'all really haven't been,
trash. They've been trash.
Well, we haven't been trash. We just haven't because we've gotten. Y'all
was 3-8 last year. 3-8.
Let's talk.
Y'all was 3-8.
Like that.
Okay. So please be sure to go check out the E2G network or E2G Facebook page or the Twitter page to catch a special edition of Let's Talk.
Absolutely.
To talk about what has gone on in the Uvalde situation massacre. Stop it, buddy. Don't.
Thank you.
Don't.
Thank you. He talking about the pic right here.
What pic?
He talking about the pic.
Background pic.
The picture. I thought he was talking about. I'm thinking when he said goat pic.
This
I,
dude.
you know what I'm
Good
saying? But in any
Lord.
case,
See, you see the hate and CC look. He couldn't.
don't just because. But you know, what I'm saying, please, as we said, so we can go
Appreciate it,
ahead and
buddy.
so they can go ahead and go live, so they can get over. So please go over and check those, check that out, to get any feelings out. You know, what I'm saying, share, comment, and like on E2G networks. You can catch it on the E2G Sports Network YouTube page, Facebook page, as well as Twitter page. So as we get ready to bounce, gentlemen, high speeds, please. You know, saying, go ahead, check out, get the feelings out, talk about what you want to talk about, share. There's it's a free space to talk about and share your opinion. Any other things, gentlemen, before we be up out of here?
All I want to say is
I just
thank
want to
everybody.
say,
Go ahead, CC. My bad. Go ahead, CC.
I was just going to say thanks for y'all having me on.
Wait,
Salute
hold
to
up, hold up.
everybody.
Make sure. Wait, go ahead. Wait, you go ahead first, Bishop, because CC has an announcement.
Oh, okay. Does he? Okay, real quick.
Yes.
Hey, man, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all so much, man. We thank you. We appreciate you. Again, condolences out to Robb Elementary, the Uvalde community, for their terrible loss of young lives out there. And as well as for those that don't know, today marks the second year for um, George Floyd, who lost his life to police brutality. So don't forget that as well. But other than that, man, we thank each and every one of y'all for the show. Please tune in again tomorrow. We'll be right back with the
9 to 8. So of course, CC, you make sure we come back on. He's still talking. Okay, go ahead, take us out, CC. Go ahead, give that good information so we can get up out of here.
I just want to say thank y'all, and for those that haven't checked out my radio show, the Stimulate Your Mind radio show on WDRB Media, iHeart Radio. Specifically, I'm mentioning iHeart because I've just been put into the Hall
That's
of
what's
Fame,
up.
WDRB Media's iHeart Hall of Fame.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Thank y'all for rocking with me. Love y'all, Trey and Bishop. Thanks for putting me on, man.
Yes,
No
sir.
doubt,
So,
man.
like you said, formation is over. Fall in and go ahead and
Fall out.
fall out. Holler
All
at
right.
y'all tomorrow. See ya.
Sorrow 5 Military Fraternity Incorporated. Peace. Have a great day.